Okay, hang on, Lori. I have some issues connecting, so bear with me, okay? Welcome, everyone, to the Blooming Lotus Healing channel. Namaste, beautiful souls. My name is Jikara, and I am a spiritual healing facilitator, activator, however you want to say. And I was having some issues at the beginning of the live, so I don't know if you guys could see me talking to Lori, saying that I had some issues. But either way, welcome, everyone. I'm so excited that we're here. Today's guest is going to really blow your mind. She's amazing, and I can't wait to bring her in. But before we get started, I kind of wanted to just, first of all, just thank every one of my supporters, those of you who have joined the Cosmic Light Activation membership. Each one of you are helping these live streams. So thank you so much for allowing these live streams to flourish. Thanks to you, I am able to start adding different things. I'm being able to, to get this system, and I'm going to be able to add more things, technical things into the space, so that we can have a better experience. So thank you so much for joining. And if you're interested in joining in the future, right now I did close it, but if you want to join, you can go to the bloominglotushealing.com and go into membership, and just go ahead and sign up for my email list, and you will be able to know when I have the membership open again. I also wanted to mention that the person that I brought in today, that I'm bringing in today, she, as you know, I've been part of this beautiful community called Evolve Me, and this is how I learned about Lori. And she actually, her and I, we did some exchanges, and she did a healing session for me, and it was so powerful, it was so beautiful and loving and gentle. And one of the things that I felt about that felt so beautiful about the experience with her was how connected she was, and in the delivery of the information. It was very unique. And so I'm really excited to bring her over. She's a shamanic medium, and you can also find her at evolveme.com. And I also have her website here, I am shamanicmedium.com. So if you want to connect to her, you can also go into that website and sign up for any of the events that she might have coming up. I believe she has some events coming up also pretty soon on Evolve Me as well. So make sure that you go to Evolve Me and follow her there. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jay. Hi, Fabrice. Hi, Peggy. Cece, thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited that y'all are here. And so without further ado, I am going to bring in our beautiful guest.
Hello.
Lori, hi.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome. So happy to have you here. And I'm just so excited because, again, I was watching you had a live stream yesterday with Evolve Me on TikTok. And, it was so nice to be able to see you do your magic and the way that you speak and the way that you connect with such a beautiful open heart. And I'm just so grateful that you're sharing your knowledge today, and you're going to share some of your magic today later on. But I kind of wanted to instead of reading your bio, I kind of wanted you to just kind of talk about yourself and let us know what is it that you do.
Great. Well, actually, last night was the first TikTok live I'd ever done, the first live. And up until 6 months ago, I was a full-time special ed teacher. I'm working for a school called Green Chimneys, and I worked specifically with children who didn't fit in the public school, that needed extra assistance, kids on the spectrum, kids with emotional issues. And it took up a lot of my energy, but within the classroom, I honed a lot of my skills because I use crystals in the classroom. I would work on energy, which I will share with you as well. And it was all about from the heart, which is when you ask who is Lori Sheffer as a teacher, as medium, as a shamanic practitioner, it's heart medicine. It's really coming from the heart. I remember one of my first classes in grad school to be a teacher was, what is your philosophy, right? And everybody wants you to have these, philosophies, I don't know, that didn't really fit me. When I thought, it's making connections. And so when I chose to go into shamanism, I got into Andean shamanism. And I will talk about that further with you. And I began to study with a teacher and expand it for myself, and really to the point where I became got an internship with her and learned more and more, apprenticed with her. And then people began to show up that no one else could see. And I mean, they'd always been there and I'd sort of blocked them, but suddenly they were coming full blast. And I was like, oh my God. And so I started going to a spiritualist church, and from there went to development circles, and then started taking classes, and found that there was just like, they wanted to come in and I needed to get rid of my fear and let them come in. And what I realized is the shamanic medium piece is that I took my shamanic practice and I blended it with mediumship. So I'm a storyteller. I really believe that everything has a story and there's energy around that story. So even if I'm bringing in your grandfather, I'm going to bring in pieces of your grandfather that have the word resonance is coming in, that there's energetic resonance. And that while I'm bringing in your grandfather, we're also working on the energy that that is there. So when you are working with me, it's not just bringing in a message, it is also healing that is naturally occurring. And so I would say that is, Jikara, what I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who are here watching, please, if you have any questions for Lori in regards to what she does and what she's going to be explaining to us about shamanism, the specific lineage, right, that she was activated under, right? I like to say, or learned under. If you have any questions about that, or in general for Lori, in regards to what she does, what she goes through, explaining throughout, please make sure that you let us know in the comments, and then we'll be able to go through these at the Q&A in between or at the end. Okay. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to say, Lori, one of the things that I really felt with you when you did the reading and the healing, because it was really kind of like a reading, healing, everything together, just messages coming in. Some of the things that I felt was really powerful. It really was that essence of storytelling, and there was something very healing about receiving those messages, and receiving them, and it does really feel from the heart. And so one of the things that I felt when you first did the session for me, it was this invitation energetically for me to start connecting to my creativity, and so with that said, connecting to this part of myself that I have forgotten, and you kind of brought this forward to the surface, but it was such a playful and loving way that it was kind of like it was impossible to not want to interact with that part of me and want to integrate that part of me back into my consciousness, right? So I felt that that the process of the experience of receiving your healing was definitely that, in essence, what you said is receiving the message, but at the same time you're receiving that energetic shift as you're receiving the message, which is so powerful. And so I just kind of wanted to ask you about, I've had mediums come here, and I know that everyone has their own medicine, right? Everyone has their own specific medicine. And what would you say, in essence, is the difference between a medium and a shamanic medium?
Right. Well, first of all, not everybody understands that word medicine, which is, I'm great you brought that up, because I use that sometimes and people go, what does that mean? And it is, in a sense, our own way, our own gifts, our own way of working. And and then it becomes the tools in our toolbox as well. And so can you restate the question again?
Yeah, no, I was asking, what do you think it's the it's the difference between a medium, like just a regular, I don't want to say just a regular medium, but a medium and a shamanic medium, right? Like what would be the difference
When
between
I
those two?
first was training to be a medium, I'd already studied and was studying. I was apprenticing still at the time when I first started. And some of the early teachers in mediumship for me it was all about evidence. It was all about the job is you're sitting there, the person's sitting across from you, and you're supposed to bring in verifiable evidence.
Mm.
And then you bring in the evidence, you give them the evidence, and then you come to the message and you give them the message. And the whole time, like in those early days, I was taught that you're supposed to check in. Does that resonate with you? And honestly, the style did not resonate with me, because when I'm flowing, right, when I am receiving information, I don't want to stop it, right? I don't want to stop it. I want to keep going. And what I found was um, the way I, see the loved ones, like even last night you asked about your father, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's like their energy, and that's our essence, right? But shamanism, Andean shamanism, believes we come from the stars. We do a lot of work with the Pleiades, that we, star beings, and so we are energy. So I'm connecting with the energy of your loved one, of these spirit beings, and that's really what I'm bringing in. And they show me pictures, and they bring in information in a variety of ways. I can feel at moments how they were sick at the end. I can feel their heaviness. I get all sorts of really physical things, and they become a story to me. They really come in as a character. And that's where I think, the shamanism comes in, because it's the energy that's coming off of them. And now the ancestors, when you think of ancestors, our mother and father are our ancestors.
Right.
And so how does that energy come into us? And the relationship you had may not have been the best, or may have been wonderful, but they've shifted too when they've crossed over. They are not the same. And now we're finding different mediums are now, like I worked a lot with Tony Stockwell, and he talks about how people change when they cross over, and they don't stay how they were when they died. They actually shift and change because they're soul beings. So I'm able to connect to that soul energy. And then shamanically, it begins like, imagine your hands. You're actually able to take that energy and feel it. And what is that connection with you? I feel like a stream, right? Even with you, Jikara, I can feel the stream of your father coming into you, because didn't you come from two rivers that
Right.
blended with you? I mean, that's what's coming in. So that's sort of the shamanic way of like doing it, and using earth energy, using animal spirits, plant beings, tree beings, stone beings in my work, and allowing them to bring in messages as well as the angels and many others.
Yeah, that's powerful. And so for those of you who don't know, well, actually, you guys don't pretty much don't know, but before I open the session, we typically get together before we go live backstage, and I typically go on a little bit of a meditation or prayer with the practitioners, just to kind of set the intention and create the container together, because this is a co-creation that we're having here. And one of the things that I've noticed with Lori, when we did I was kind of like up here, in the ethers, and then Lori just brought it really down into the earth, which is so powerful. And I just felt that, like, boom, we're grounded. And so definitely when you work with Lori, you will feel that very deep connection with earth, with Pachamama, that's definitely present there. So I can see how that, and I love that, because it's that combination. That's really in essence who we are, right? We are, incarnated, but we're also, spiritual. So it's like that essence of working with both sides, right, of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to, so listen, I love your story behind, and I know you might not be able to share everything, but you were talking about the Q'ero. And that really just resonated so much with me because it's from South America, and I'm from South America myself. So of course, I wanted to kind of open up that conversation. And can you tell us a little bit about the Q'ero, and
Yes.
how you even got connected to that in the first place?
It's in 2010, I was going through a really traumatic time in my life. I had switched careers. I had worked in HIV/AIDS for years and a bunch of stuff. And I decided to switch over to teaching, went and got my master's in teaching and got a public school job, actually in the same district as my wife. And long story short, I didn't get tenure, and the process was extremely painful. I put in 4 years there, and I felt so defeated. I did. Even talking about it, I can feel the dense energy about it, and all my old traumas came to the surface. And really, and now I understand the gift in it. That I tell you, I worked through so much junk. And I actually was in therapy, but therapy just wasn't touching it. It couldn't touch the depth. So I opened up I was telling my wife, I need something. I opened up the Awakenings, and there within was this advertisement for Eileen O'Hare Medicine Spiral. And I go, I think this is it. And it was starting like in 2 weeks. So I called, and immediately I knew when I heard the voice of my teacher to be, I go, this is it. And so I joined it. And within that, what really sunk in was, it was at that time a 14-month course, and you spent 4 months in what's 4 times 4, maybe 16, and anyway, 4 months in each direction. And what you did was, in the south was Sachamama, was the serpent. And the idea was to shed your skin. What needed to leave, and what I realized needed to leave, was my identification in the roles in my life. That the way I felt good about myself was what I did for others. And that, teacher, sister, all these different roles. And I needed to shed those and find out what was underneath. Who am I when I shed the skin? And through it, I mean, oh my gosh, I can't imagine how many skins I've shed, And so anyway, and then, so what happens is, you have a mesa cloth. This is a mesa tana, a very beautiful mesa tana, woven by the women, the Q'ero women. And so you don't have to have one of these, but I chose to. And so you have 4 stones for each direction, and you do work with those stones. And you're taught, they're called kuyas. And the stone beings are so incredible. They're our teachers. They can carry dense energy. You can use the stone beings to give them to mama. And then mama takes that energy and then eats it like fertilizer. So anyway, then I moved into the West. And in the West is Odorongo, and that's Jaguar. And that's the place where we face our shadows. When you think of Odorongo, Jaguar, right? There's the king of the jungle. And a lot of us have fears that, we sort of are victim to. We have areas in our life that we're really running from, or hiding under the covers, or however we view it. So we bring those out, we face our shadows, and we begin to be, really have a dance with Odorongo, with the Jaguar, and be more comfortable with our shadows. More stones come in, and we work with those stones, and those go into the mesa. And then we go to the north, and that's Saiwa Kente, that's hummingbird. And by the way, you can hear it taught in many ways, because not all traditions take it the same, because it has been brought down from the mountains, and different people have taught it differently. So especially with hummingbird, not, when you work with the Q'ero themselves, you don't always hear hummingbird. So that is important. I'll get to that in a moment. And then, so that's your ancestors. Man, do we all need to work with our ancestors. And then we get our stones, and then we move into the east, which is condor and eagle condor, right? And there, that's the time we learn to soar, by that we begin to look at our life, at who we are from a new perspective, that we're able to really And I use that a lot to this day, right? When I'm going through something, I try to take myself above it so I can really go up here and say, what's really going on? And I use the word with my students, I use the word framework. You know, how we view our students, right? The student comes, here's their record. Everybody's telling us about this student, right? They've got a nice little package. But if I soar above that, what do I really see? And that's what I loved with my teaching with this medicine, because I can have a new perspective of this child, and I could really see them for who they really are, and then get rid of all the rest and just, you know, get rid of all that. When you come to me as a student, I'm not going to use, yes, it helps as, you know, clinically, but otherwise I'm getting rid of it. And I've got this beautiful child who's coming to me for me not to see in any of the roles or ways people have seen before. And that's the new perspective. So more stones come in, and the last stone is the lineage stone. Ah, my favorite. And so connecting with the lineage, in the story goes that the Inca, of course, this tradition comes from the Inca, and that when the Spanish came, and I know for you, Jikara, this is a big part of the story. When the Spanish came, they not only conquered, but they destroyed the indigenous ways. Anything, the temples, anything they could find, they destroyed. So first of all, what the survivors did was, when I went to Peru, I learned this, you probably knew this, Jikara, is they turned a lot of their symbols upside down and they buried them in the ground. And so they hid a lot of their things where they could. And also they hid their medicine. So for the Q'ero, they went up into the mountains where you couldn't find them, high up, and they hid up there. And so llamas and alpaca and potatoes are a huge part, and you will actually see it in a lot of their work, right? You'll see it in their work. So they hid up there, but they maintained and could work freely because they weren't influenced by the European cultures as much. And then the message was received in the 40s and 50s that it was time to come down, because we were coming up on the time of the Pachacuti, that we were coming time of the great change. That we had been in imbalance between the masculine and feminine, and the masculine being this 500 years of colonization that was out of balance, because there's nothing wrong. We need the masculine and we need the feminine, but we had been out of balance. So they were bringing, the Q'ero brought the medicine down and began to bring teachings down and share with others. And they also believed it was the time to begin to heal the two continents, the North and South America. It was time, we needed eagle condor medicine. So that being said, it all came down. And from there, people began to use these teachings and expand these teachings. So when I found it, I felt so connected. And I really, really, for me, having been so scarred by my own gender issues and how I've struggled, I've never felt like I fit totally in my feminine body and all this. I've received so much healing from my work in this area around my own masculine and feminine, and understanding that you do need both. All of us need both. And we're talking about divine masculine and feminine here. It took me a long time to say those words and not feel something, some dense energy arise, in that we need balance within us. And for each of us, that is different. And it's not about, straight or gay and any of those. We're talking about earth energy, the divine energy, and in using that within us. And that is when I'm working with someone, I hope that when I'm connecting to even your loved ones, that is coming in such a way that also they're receiving a healing. One of my early mediumship teachers, Rita Berkowitz, talked about, for those of you who are out there who want to do mediumship, she said, the more experience you have in life, the better you're going to be at this. And because you're freer, your mind is freer, you can connect with more because you understand more. So that is how, I believe it all comes together for me.
That is so powerful. And I love what you said about the teachings being brought out, and because we are in a time of change, in a time of evolution, and there's so many ways that this is being expressed in the spiritual world, right? There's so many ways that this is being expressed. We're talking about the new earth, we're talking about Kali Yuga, we're talking about all these different ways that we're saying that there's kind of like a crisis at the energetic level, or spiritual level, that we are experiencing, that we are looking now to bring all of these teachings out, so that way we can start rebalancing our energies. And I feel that this is expressed in many religions, in many ways. And one of the things that I learned recently in the Amazon, there's a practice with certain medicine, with plant medicine, and that medicine actually there is a channeling where that the plant medicine decided to come out of the Amazon, so that we could start healing our hearts, right? So that's the idea here, is to start healing our hearts, start healing the way that we connect to each other, that we understand what it means to be a human, right? And how we are interconnected, and bringing that sense of community, which I feel a lot of the indigenous cultures, and just any culture that is prior to Christianity, right? It was all about tribe and that tribal connection, right? Regardless of where you are in the world, I feel that was very prevalent everywhere, right? And that connection to the earth, which is absolutely important. And I do feel like we've been disconnected from the earth. When we look at the way that we live in these little boxes. That's what I call we call them houses, but that's how I feel. They're kind of little boxes, and yes, they protect us from any sort of danger while we are asleep. But at the same time, it's also created an imbalance for us, where we're not connected as much to the earth, and we're not going to nature as much. We're so disconnected that we're not even realizing how we impact, right, the earth, and in so many ways.
Yeah.
So I love how this was a calling for you. And this is obviously a calling, because it was something that needed to be expanded here in your area, or with whoever you work with. Obviously, that medicine, or the way that you work, right, with the earth medicine, and also the mediumship, combining those two was something that was needed to be expressed through you on this planet. So one thing that I wanted to ask you is, and I'm kind of curious, with the Q'ero, is it related to the Incas? Are they related to the
Yes.
Incas?
Well, um, the story goes, I always go, so according to my beautiful teacher Damariano Quispe Flores, who is a Q'ero, and he lives up in the mountains, and he comes down to Cusco, and he actually works on Zoom, so you can actually look him up, Mariano Quispe Flores, and he is amazing. So he yes, it is Inca medicine and everything. If you've been to Cusco, which if you haven't, go. Oh my gosh.
I
But
haven't. I
anyway,
need to go.
yeah, Cusco itself, the directions play a large role in how Cusco was built. And I know you know some of this, Jikara, and the idea of how the directions played into all of the Inca medicine, and that is carried out. And the star, the Southern Cross, and it is in the star. And many people think when they see the Southern Cross that it's Christianity in Southern, in the Andes medicine. And it's actually not. It's referring to the cosmos, to the Southern, to the star beings, right? But when Christianity, and the whole oppression and colonization, the indigenous people hid that, right? So they were still
Mhm.
practicing their ways. And so, yes, so it is the Inca, it is the tradition of the Inca. And then I think it's been, blended as they were up in the mountains, because not everybody practices it the same. You could go from village to village, and it's practiced differently. And I've like, there's something called a despacho, and if you've looked on Evolve Me, you can actually see my videos of my making a despacho, and it's paper, and then on the paper you take leaves, and if you were in Peru, you would use cocoa leaves, probably anywhere where there's cocoa leaves, and you would use, because the cocoa leaf is extremely important, and you would use a kintu, which means 3, and you would use those cocoa leaves, and then you would use flower petals. You would use red and white wine, or sometimes they use beer, and that's like the clearing, the blessing, red and white, red for earth, white for sky, the upper world, and everything's in balance. So everything you put into this is with your breath, right? And you blow into it, and you bless the upper world, the middle world, and the lower world. And there's an intent to the despacho, and you make it, and when you're all done, it's gorgeous. And then you wrap it up like a present, and that's a present to mama. And then you can burn it, you can bury it, and you want to make sure everything is eco-friendly. And then you can even put in water. You just, like I said, eco-friendly. And then all of that is released. All your prayers are released. And that is very much, you can go online, you can actually watch the Q'ero making them. And so I've been taught to do it in a couple of ways. And Don Mariano says, be creative. Don't make it like him. The idea is to follow your heart and how it comes out. And that's how he talks a lot, that every, they're called Pacos. They're not called shamans, Pacos. And he is a pom-pom messiah, and he is really good at what he does, and an earth priest. And there are also Alta messiahs, but this time I'm told that there aren't any new Alta messiahs, coming. It's just the energy is too dense. But anyway, you can watch different pom-pom messiahs, different Pacos, and how they work, and they all bring it through with their own creativity and in their own way. They do healings, they use stones, they'll use the beautiful kuyas in their medicine and how they heal you. And then we use our mesas. We can use our mesas on you for healing, for ceremony. This is my mesa. And there's a saying that says, I am my mesa, my mesa is me. So that means how I take care of my mesa is how I take care of myself. And so, yeah, so that's how it all works.
That's powerful. Do you mind showing the kuya? I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit so people can
see. This is one of my favorite kuyas. Let's see. There we go. I love this kuya, this stone, because you can see it has something in the middle of it, right? Yeah. And I keep this next to my desk as a reminder. You see how we get so much we get lost, right? And there I am. And that soul self is just coming out, right? And that's how we are right now, right?
Yeah, I love that. And it's so powerful because you're using all of this, all of these spirits, right? You're using the spirits of the earth, and would you say that crystals, would you include crystals also in your practice?
I do. And actually, okay. Yes, I have. Yes, crystals are used, and I have my healing crystals in there. I have 2. If I were to open my mesa, I would have to do a prayer and everything, open my mesa. And so I have 2 healing crystals in there that I do use. So when you come to me, I do healing as well. And a lot of times people come to me starting with the mediumship component and then realize, oh my gosh, I have so much more I want to work on. And, I have my massage table, my table, and it can move to so many other things. But the stones, the crystals are very much a part, meteorites. And don't forget the power. I know you yourself, Jikara, know a little bit. They're telling me you know a little bit about meteorites and how meteorite medicine, there's some things that happen down in South America I would never do, but using meteorites in the water, the whole, all sorts of different things. But yeah, the mountains are such a part of their medicine. But if you were born along the ocean, as you were, Jikara, your ancestors come from near the ocean, then that medicine is going to be really a big part of you too, right? That is going to be, you're going to honor those waters. And that's what I say, wherever you're born, you have your birth mountain or your birth waters. Or, for me, I was born on the shore of Lake Michigan. So the sand dunes, man, I got beach sand right through my pores. And Lake Michigan is just part of my blood. And I honor that. I might live in New York, but that is always a part of me.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, and it is so true. Recognizing where our ancestors are from, and I know for a fact that I was born in Caracas, which is the capital of Venezuela, and it's a valley, so I'm surrounded by mountains. However, my lineage on my mother's side, they're all next to the water, to the beach. And so there's something really special about going to the beach for me, that going into the ocean and connecting to the ocean. Every time I've done any journeying with my ancestors, they always show me the ocean. That's
Mhm.
just, so it's almost like that reminder, like you are part of the ocean, you come from the ocean, like that reminder. Even eating fish, like or even eating something called casabe. Casabe is a bread that is made out of yuca, which is cassava, the cassava root. And we call it yuca. That's the native way to say it. And the yuca, it's made into the cassava bread, and so they always remind me of that. And actually, a way that I venerate my ancestors is to eating. When I
Mhm.
want to connect to them, I eat the cassava, as a way of connecting to them. So yeah, you're right. Like, just really connecting to these simple ways to really, it's very healing too, because it kind of reminds you where it grounds you. It reminds you where you come from, and it reminds you of who you are, right? Like, it goes back to that.
Yeah.
So I love what you mentioned about, it's just kind of like it's in your skin, it's in your blood, it's everywhere,
Yeah.
it's part of you.
Yeah.
um I
And
wanted
that is
to.
important. I just want to say, Jikara, you brought up, you didn't say it, but you brought up Aini, and that's reciprocity. And that's the idea that the balance. And so when we're eating these foods, to say thank you and think about it, you're honoring your ancestors, and you're in reciprocity. And even when we eat food, thanking mama, we're thanking her for this food, for the, you can go start, you're eating chicken, thank you, chicken. But it is real, it's real. It's the Aini, reciprocity, and the balance. And you're doing that, Jikara, probably not even without realizing it, that you're keeping a balance with your ancestors. And that's what's helping you to be healthy and to be true to yourself.
Mm, thank you so much for that. And yeah, so I have some questions here from the audience. At the beginning, when you were talking about mediumship, there was a question from Cece, and I kind of wanted to weave that in here as we talk, just because I don't want to ignore her question. But she was asking, so how does mediumship work if you never met that person? How does that evidence come through?
Excellent question. Now that we're online a lot, and I actually did, I think, a TikTok video about this, that I see it's like making a phone call, that we all have our etheric energy, right? We have our etheric phone line, that is us, right? Our code. And so when I connect with you, Cece, and I take a moment and I connect with you, I feel your energy. And then when I connect with that, I can, if I really hone in with prayer and do that, I can sense your energy and begin to feel information. And then ancestors may come in, or we can work off of that.
That's so powerful. So hopefully that CC answers your question. And I love the way that you describe it, is that that etheric line, phone line. You have your own code, that you press to connect, which is so cool. And then we have someone from the audience. Nia's asking, what area of New York are you from? She's originally from upstate New York, and sometimes she visits her family there.
I live near Danbury, Connecticut. I live on the New York side, near Danbury, Connecticut, so about 60 miles north of New York City. Which is cool because I'm in the reservoirs. I'm in this whole area of reservoirs where the water of New York City. And I go to those waters, and I go to the Hudson River. I love to work with the Hudson River, by the way. And
Mm.
she's powerful. And so I spend a lot of time. Mama Coche is what we call water. Mama Coche is the word in Quechua. And by the way, that's the language, Quechua, that the Q'ero speak. And so, yeah, so that's where I live.
That's so powerful. I love, I lived in New York for a while, and I would drive. I lived in the Bronx, and then I would drive upstate New York just to get away. And there was really something special about that river, the Hudson River. And I have to say, every time I connected, I felt really, really peaceful. in my heart every time I went there. So at the time I wasn't in this path of awareness. I wasn't really aware, but I was aware of energies, and I could sense that I would feel better whenever I would be close to that body of water. So I'm sure there's some ley lines around there.
There are, and we go off on the whole thing. And in the Hudson River flows both ways. It's an estuary, and the indigenous, very important to the indigenous people, and the power of that, right? So there's a lot of power. And my first teacher, took us down. We worked with the Hudson River all the time, and it said that it's also a place for the aliens. There are places on the and the Hudson River, are like around Beacon, and there's other places as well. I'm sure people would chime in and say, but where the aliens really, there are sort of pathways. And at first people would say this, man, like, yeah, sure, yeah. And but the more I work with the energies, you can't discount anything.
Yeah, that's so powerful. So I wanted to also ask the audience here, if you have any questions. You're so very welcome, Cece and Nia. Happy to answer your questions. If you have any more questions for Lori in regards to the work that she does, or if you have any questions about the Q'ero, or about the specific type of shamanism that she works with. Please do feel free to ask any questions. There's no bad question. There's no wrong question. You're safe, and again, and then you're even safer today because you're with an actual teacher. We have a teacher in the house, so we can all experience or express a teacher. But I feel you definitely have embodied that for many years. So please do feel free to share anything that you may connect to, or if you have any questions for her. And then we will enter into the space of readings in a few. So if you are interested in a reading, please do stick around, so that you can get the readings from Lori. And let me tell you something, you're in for a treat, because she really, her readings are so joyful. And so this is going to be a really different type of energy you're going to be experiencing today. So I'm just so grateful and so honored to have her here sharing her medicine, or her specific way of sharing her work. So yeah, so for to connect, so we got some people asking. So I have been sharing here her website. I am Shamanic Medium. You can connect to her there. And of course, she is part of the Evolve Me. So if you're already part of the Evolve Me platform and you just want to book a session with her there, you can do that there. But she also has a website, iamshamanicmedia.com, and I believe she also has an Instagram that you can connect to. That is,
Yeah.
I am Shamanic Medium as well. So
I just have to say, sometimes I'm overwhelmed with so many ways to do it. So I definitely, when it comes in right now, that if you go to iamshamanicmedium.com, I have, you can email me from there. And there are ways you can go there, look at the schedule, or you can just email me off of there. You'll get my email or my phone number and be able to call me or involve me. Yeah. And, am on TikTok as I am Shamanic Medium as well, which has been a journey. But yes, I hope I've created several ways for you to connect with me.
Perfect. So, and then, yeah, so if you want to, so you can just go iamshamanicmedia.com or TikTok, I am Shamanic Medium. And I believe she also has an Instagram, but I feel like you're more active on TikTok, right?
I am, which is new, by the way. It's like, and I didn't mean to get on TikTok. Evolve Me pushed me there, and and it's been. I just decided to be my authentic self, which is, by the way, pretty corny, but what can you?
It's wonderful. I love your authentic self, and so. I just kind of wanted to also add here a question. We got Cece asking, could you please explain the difference, the different worlds between the lower and the higher worlds?
Sure. So the I'm backing up so you can actually see my hands. Like if I were praying with my mesa, and the lower world is Pachamama. That is the earth. That is an understanding Pachamama. you know, we call her Mama Earth, but you know, in our language, but Pachamama, she is the roots, you know, the trees go down into her. She grounds us. That's the minerals. That's where the crystals come from. I mean, we can't survive without her. And so the idea that, you know, a lot of times when you first start this work, lower world, ooh, that's where hell is, you know, or that's where, you know, evil is. Not at all. Think about the richness of Pachamama. You know, she grounds us, she holds us, she embraces us. That is, you know, me. This is me speaking. That is, in a sense, the beginning. We can't live without plants. We can't live without trees, and even the waters that Mama Kocha, right? How she works with the earth, and how, and I get dizzy thinking about it, right? Oh my God! And it's all part, these elements of earth, air, fire, water, and ether, and how they work in balance. But it's the lower world where we really want to give our prayers and our gratitude to Mama. Now we come into the middle world, and the middle world is our present world. This is our present world. This is where you will find our guides. This is where you will find, like in the, you know, in Peru, in South America, and I know Jikara knows this, mountain spirits actually have personalities. They're real, and they have personalities. They're called the Apu. And so the tree beings, if you've ever walked in the woods, sometimes you're drawn to a tree and you're like, whoa, you know, and you can feel the spirit of that tree. And that is, you can interact with these beings right in the present. And the fairy realm is very much part of the middle world. And this is where our ancestors are. So whenever I'm praying, I will do a lot of prayers to the middle world beings. And then you go up, and I'm getting chills as I'm bringing myself up into the middle world. I mean, the upper world. And this is like, if you were to use the Quechua, Wiracocha, it's the idea that this is divine energy. This is where the angels reside. And so these are the three realms. And to bring it into, like, maybe this will help. And I'm gonna, there are two words. There is, well, Sami is the light energy. So I'm using Quechua when I talk about this. So Sami is the light energy. So we bring in this beautiful light energy. You think it comes down through our crown, down. And then we have our belly buttons, which are the really, belly button is like the center of who we are. And once again, Jikara knows that in South America, the importance of the belly button when babies are born, right? And protecting that belly button. And that's where dense energy, the hucha, can come in, and Mama takes it. And so we use the light energy from the upper world to come in. It's all connected. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's powerful. And thank you for thank you for sharing that, because I think that's, sometimes it can get a little confusing. And, you know, I have to say, when I would hear the lower world, I would get uncomfortable for a while. I remember, you know, because I grew up Catholic, and so then you're taught you know, there's hell, and it's, you know, lower, and then you have heaven, which is higher, and then, you know, you're always striving for the, you know, for going higher. So then there's almost like this sense of like, oh, I don't want to go to the lower world, right? So every time I would hear that, I would get tense. I would feel like this resistance, right? But I love how you say it. It's just like, it's basically, you know, it's here on the earth, you know, it's like that beautiful, you know, density that earth provides, right? And it keeps us grounded here. And she is our home. So, and we are part of it, and she's part of us, and there's nothing to be afraid of. So yeah, everyone is loving your explanation, Lori. Thank you so much. And so I kind of wanted to ask you also, what is a mesa? Because you mentioned the mesa. What exactly is a mesa?
So, well, in Spanish, mesa is a table, right? But this is my mesa. This is my portable altar. So within here I carry it with me wherever I go. So a mesa is an altar, basically. And so I'm just going to open it up. So within here lies, actually, I have I actually have an inner cloth as well to protect it with. And so in here are my kuyas, are my different, I have the crystals in here, and so this is what I do my prayers to. I have and I'll just show you, this is my kuya from Apu Asangati. So interesting. I had another one. I went to Peru. I had one, and Spirit tells me to do things. And Spirit had told me to, whoops, which direction? Spirit had told me to give away my other one to my nephew. And now I was without one. So Don Medina, who I work with, who's the interpreter for Don Mariano, I said, I need a new stone. So he had some from Asangati. And the amazing thing is heart medicine, Munai, by the way, is working from, is Munai means heart. And so of all the stones I get this one. It's powerful. Asangati is the biggest mountain in the Andes. And so, you know, I have that in there. And you asked about crystals, and I have my 2 healing crystals that I work with. I can work with on you. And even like Don Mariano, I had a healing from him last month, and he worked on me etherically. So my mesa is where I pray, where I do my work. So that's basically what it is.
Yeah, and so someone is saying that it's so convenient to have a portable altar. They love it. But yeah, so it's definitely beautiful to have that. And so is this something, so when you're going through the process of learning, right? Because you went through you know, through training with the shamans or the pacos, right?
Yes.
So what I want to ask you, is there a specific ritual that you have
Yes.
to do to create this mesa for yourself?
There are rites that there are several, rites that you receive for each direction. There are actually several, and I don't have them all off the top of my head. It's like, but you receive these rites, and once you receive these rites, you then can pass on and teach the medicines. And through Don Mariano, I've also learned some Pleiades there's a Pleiades to work with the different stars from the Pleiades, to work with the Apu, Nanustas, these different ones. So you receive rights to allow you then to teach them to work with others. And so that is what goes into it. It's very powerful. Ceremony is huge in this particular lineage. And I've tried really hard to bring ceremony into my life in many ways. And that is the cool thing about it. We don't use ceremony enough, especially here in the States, and it's really lost its importance. Bring it back. You have a baby, and I know Jikara and a lot of the South American cultures, there's a lot of ceremony around having babies. There's a lot of things around every single, and we all need to bring that back. We need to bring back the ceremony into our lives to recreate those connections. When my wife and I could legally get married, we'd been together 23 years. We asked our shamanic practitioner to do the wedding, which is cool. Think about it. I didn't get tenure in 2010. I joined this group. 2011, I'm about to quit my job. The day my job is over, which also was the anniversary of my brother's death, gay marriage becomes legal in New York. And I looked at my wife, I said, that's it. We're getting married. And my shamanic practitioner that I'd been working with became the reverend. She was the reverend that did it. We did a despacho for the wedding. We had a fire ceremony, and that is how it goes. It's like this medicine is so powerful. It's part of every part of your life. And that's where, like, with mediumship now, understanding that, it blends, and I'm connected all the time. I can open space, and I also close space. So otherwise I'm too woo-woo and I wouldn't be able to function. But it's the idea that you don't walk away from it. It's incorporated into every aspect of my life.
That is, I love the fact that you did a shamanic ritual as part of your wedding. That's what I did as well for mine. And I felt I needed to do that because I wanted to honor my ancestors. And I wanted to make sure that that the ancestors knew that we were honoring the earth and that we were celebrating actually throughout the at the actual so the ceremony was private, but at the actual reception, which was small, it was a very small reception. I actually had an altar for the ancestors as well, so they were being celebrated as well. They were given a space in the celebration.
Yes.
And I don't know if I would have done this if I wouldn't be in this path, right? I would have just completely disregarded, right, the ancestors and not even done the, the ritual of connecting to the earth and connecting to my lineage and to who I come from, and also creating, also weaving in the lineage of my husband because he's Indian, so weaving in that as well and bringing in the mantras. And I mean, it was really all about bringing in both of our energies together to come together.
Yeah.
So
And Jikara, you bring up such a good point. And, I am ordained and I have done some weddings. And this is why I say to people, yeah, you can go to the courthouse and you can get married, but how about bringing in a unique, authentic, which is what you did, really taking in who you two are as individuals and honoring that and bringing in the divine spirit, your ancestors, and you're being embraced, right? And what you're starting out your life together in a way that it's like you're joining each other's tapestries. And so creating a ceremony that honors all that you are. Yeah, we had an ancestry table too. And I, my other brother was with me sitting side by side, when he didn't walk me in, but he was next to me. And we both looked at our brother Tyler's picture at the same time and got tears in our eyes because we could feel our brother, because he was such a goofball, we could feel him standing there and it was like, oh my God, it was like he was so there with us. So it's really important.
I love that. So I have a couple questions from the audience I wanted to ask you before we transition into the readings. And I have a question here from Cece. She's asking, so do shamans work mostly with a lower realm?
Well, it depends. In my tradition, in the Andean tradition, you work with all the realms, and now there are some Pacos who work with earth medicines. That's with Pachamama, and but it's a balance. You have, even if you are a Pampa Messiah and mostly working with the earth, at all times you have to work with both. And I believe that in my medicine, it is this sort of balance that occurs. You think about us. I like to think like there's an elevator within me, and in that elevator, like a beam of light, beam me up, Scotty. It's like, it's this beam that just goes through me, and we have to stay in balance. We can't, even if you like to say that you're a Pampa Messiah working with earth energies, you are also working with the upper world as well, because it's all connected. And actually, if we want to really go there, aren't we just like, if you want to talk about energy always exists. My people out there who are the scientists can tell you, right? It changes form, but we're all energy. So therefore, it's all part of the same. So that's really what's important to understand.
That's powerful. And I hope Cece, that helps help you understand a little bit more about how shamans, and again, everyone is gonna have a different perspective, and because shamanism is very unique to every practitioner. And that's another thing I want to kind of bring into this conversation, is that every shaman that you connect to is going to have a very specific way that they want to work. A lot of times they come from a lineage, and they're going to have kind of like a base that would be from that lineage, and then they weave in, kind of like how Lori is talking about. She is weaving in all of these different parts of herself that she's bringing into her work. So that's the beauty of it. So you always want to make sure that when you're seeking a shaman, seeking someone who works with the shamanic energy, who connects with your heart, right? Who do you feel connects to your heart? And so I want to take a moment right now to invite everyone to share and like this video if you are enjoying it, so that people can come in, especially maybe some people want to come in and learn a little bit more, or they want to maybe get a reading. But if you are feeling connected to Lori And I really want to invite you to go into her website, iamshamanicmedium.com. She also has her TikTok, which is the same thing, I am Shamanic Medium, and you can connect with her there. When you go into her website, you can email her there if you want to ask her additional questions, or if you maybe you're interested in working with her but you're not sure what you need, she can help you with that as well through her website. So and also just remember, if you're part of the Evolve Me community, you can also book a session with her there. She has events coming up soon. I believe she has an event coming up with other practitioners coming up soon. I believe this month, right?
It's March 20th, and it's a happiness mini what do they call it, mini like workshop type of thing. It's a mini event, and I think it starts at, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 7 p.m. EST. And yeah, and I want to say, and Cece, I feel like I'm directing this towards you as well as everyone else. The thing about it is, at least this is how I work. I never want, everybody has their own power, so to speak, our own energy, our own way, our own light, our own way of working. And I believe it's really important to always honor that when you're working with a shamanic practitioner or anyone in energy work. Just remember that. Remember to always allow yourself to stay true to yourself. If something doesn't feel like it fits you, then that's okay. And always, like even in Andean medicine, the old way is, and like Agua de Florida is huge down there, and the Pacos, will take, for those of you who don't know, Agua de Florida right here, and it's strong. And the old way was you put that in your mouth, and then you would, spit it out, and literally that's how they would clear you, is that way. Now they're changing. Thank goodness, because I can't put this in my mouth. It burns my mouth, so we're not doing that. So the new way is like they'll dip flour in Agua de Florida or something else. There's lots of different things, and then they'll cleanse it with you. But so we're shifting and changing. So it's okay to go, don't spit on me. Really, I don't, but it's actually, they wouldn't call it spitting anyway. But yeah, it's like staying true to yourself, and it's okay to say, I'm just not comfortable with that, and that's okay. Now it might challenge you. One of the workshop things is like to actually crawl on the floor and be a snake, right? That's one of the activities. My wife said, I'm not crawling on the floor and I'm not being a snake. Well, she did. But anyway, just, you gotta sort of make sure you're keeping your own authenticity in place too.
That's beautiful. And I agree with you. And that's, I think, and I feel important for us to recognize whenever we're working with someone, remember that that's your session. That's your session. That's your opportunity to say what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, and allow yourself to to choose to work with someone who you feel comfortable talking, and speaking your truth, right? And but of course, shamans and practitioners, any sort of practitioner in the spiritual realm who is going to work with you is going to be very careful to make sure that you are comfortable as well.
Yeah.
So pay attention to those things as well whenever you are choosing to work with someone. And then now I wanted to this is the last question I have, and it's from Nia. So Cici and Nia today, they're our star students today. So she was asking, how can we learn more about our ancestors and spirit guides?
One of the simplest ways to do that, Nia, is through journey work. And I find, and you can find a lot of journey music. You can find a lot of journey things online, and but taking journeys, and I used to like long time ago, I learned this way that is like creating your own space in the etheric realm, like a garden or a special place that's yours. And as you build that, imagine like inviting a spirit guide to come see you, an ancestor to come visit you. And there are lots of journey work is often used in my practice. I think Jikara might have used it on you a little bit too.
Yes.
And so I use a lot of that in my practice, but that's a really nice way I find in the easiest way for me anyway, to meet my guides and my ancestors.
Yeah, I feel that doing any sort of repetition, like if you're listening to, that's helped me. Repetitive sounds like the drum, especially if you can find something online that you can listen to that has that repetitive sound. Something about that, it just kind of puts you in that trance, and it kind of puts you in a space of just stepping away from this space where we're in right now, and it puts you into that space of receiving, right? So like it kind of puts you in that space of being able to receive messages from your ancestors or your guides. And one of the things that I've found that sometimes a little they'll give you certain messages through certain, depending on how you receive, maybe some visual, or also you might hear something like a message in your head, and it might not make sense at first. So if it's your first time, I would recommend, like, what I started doing was just I started journeying with a shaman, and then I would come back and share with her what was coming up. And some things I felt, okay, well, I feel like this is telling me this, but I'm not sure about that. And she would kind of try to bring in the message for me as well. So that's another thing that you can do. And I'm sure Lori can facilitate that
Yeah.
for you
Yeah.
as
And
well.
and the better you get at it yourself, then that's what I find when I'm working with people. A lot of times I have to do guided journeys. And then there comes a point that I just don't need to do that anymore. And I may still get information, but the stronger you get, the more you're able to do it for yourself. And that's really what you want, is to move to the point. And that's repetition, it's practice. And it's believing is another piece in it. I have beings that show up all the time, and sometimes it's like, I don't know, I hear a sound, I see a shadow, I see something, a shadow type of thing, and I just, there's this knowing that occurs, and I'm like, I smells. My mother-in-law shows up. I know her perfume. And there's this smell about my mother-in-law. So I say to my wife, "Your mom's here," and she doesn't want us to throw away that picture. Doggone it, or something like that.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah, and that's true. Sense can also be part of it. If you could be clear, you can receive sense. So I just wanted to share some of the love that is being thrown here on the comments. River Wellness, Journey Wellness. She's actually Mary Matson Haskin. She's one of the practitioners. She's saying, "Love this. You both walk in integrity and integration of the ancient, sacred ancient practices." She's also connected with shamanic work, so that she was really excited about this live today. And then Guadalupe Rivera, she came in. Hi, Guadalupe. So happy that you're here. She says, "Thank you for sharing your wisdom, Lori." So everyone is just so happy. And Cece also, she says, "Thank you so much for your wisdom." And we're so grateful. And Nia says, "Thank you so much." So we got a lot of love coming in for you, Lori. And of course, there is a lot of love for you because you're coming here with your open heart, and that's what we're receiving here. So now we're going to segue into the part that everyone is waiting
Okay. So
for.
I'm going to
Okay, I
stand.
know that y'all are waiting for this.
I'm going to stand to shift my energy and shut my door because my dogs have finally left.
Yes.
Then I will be
So in the meantime, while we wait for her to shut her door and get ready for this, if you have a question for her, if you maybe want to get a message from a loved one, or maybe just a message, a general reading, just let us know in the comments. And then please let us know your first name, at least, if your name is not part of your handle on your whether you're watching from Facebook or YouTube. And if you're watching from Facebook, please make sure that you go into the description of this video, go all the way down. There's a link on that description that will let me see your handle on Facebook as well. So make sure that you let me know, because otherwise I'm just going to see user and I'm not going to see your name. So yeah, please make sure that you put your first name and the question that you have for our beautiful Lori. She is going to be sharing her magical medicine today with us. And I am just super grateful that we have her here. And then you can ask your questions in the comments. So just go ahead and put those questions in the comments. And yeah, so in the meantime, I kind of wanted to invite y'all to make sure that you go into her website. Please support our practitioners. They come here and they give so much of their time and their energy with so much love. Please do support them, whether it is by following them on social media or going into their website and checking it out, or sharing this video, just even sharing this video with someone that you love. Maybe there's someone in your family, or someone in your friends list, or someone that you know that could potentially benefit from connecting with Lori. Then definitely do consider sharing this video. Not only are you supporting this channel, but you're also supporting the practitioners that are so lovingly coming here, sharing their medicine. And we want to make sure that we support them, so they want to come back, right? To share, continue to share with us. So again, I'm gonna just go in here and see what we have here. Okay, so we have some questions coming through for you, Lori. So one of our star students, Cece, she is asking today. She would love a reading. And would you like a general reading, Cece, or is just any? Do you have a specific question? Let us know in the comments so that way we know. And then after that, so glad that you're here, Jay. So happy that everyone is here. Don't be shy. Ask your questions. Feel free to ask your questions here. And then I'm just waiting for you, Cece, to share if you have a specific question, or if you want to, or if you want a general reading. I see some messages, something. So she said general message. Okay, perfect. Okay. So just some general message for Cece.
All right. So Cece, I actually had to write this down. I love to write things. So Cece, I'm connecting with your energy. I see you walking on the shore. There's this shoreline, and I immediately get chills as I see your connection, your feet, you're barefoot, and you're walking on the shore. And they're saying, what they showed me was tiny pebbles on the shore, lost while looking for special shells. I love that. So sometimes we're so looking for the big messages. We're so looking for the big one. We're focused on that big thing, that we miss the little moments. We miss those moments that are just want to pop up. It could even be they're saying there's people in your life, and it's taking the time to pay attention to the little things and how important they are. And we get busy, right? You got a lot on your plate. You got the rent to pay. You got, the mortgage, you gotta work, and it can be hard, and we lose focus. And what I hear is there are friends and that are calling, that want to spend time with you, and there's something about your energy that needs a reset and a refresh. And it's it's like push that reset refresh button, unplug yourself. And I'm getting it feels like a grandmother energy coming in, and she's saying, she has nothing to do with this technology. She's old, and so grandma is saying, just get rid of all this technology. I know you're not really gonna, but set it aside. And actually, she's saying, go do some visiting. There's some elders in your life that really could use some attention, and you honestly could use that connection. And so she's really saying that to you, and you can really get caught up. And she's saying, in sort of tunnel, and step out of the tunnel and realize just how amazing all the aspects of your life are. So that is what she wants to say to you.
That's so powerful. See, so then now you gotta go see that. You gotta go visit the elders, huh? So she's laughing because I'm sure she's laughing because she knows it's true. All right, that's beautiful. So so let us know in the comments, Cece. Did you receive the entire message? How did that feel in your heart? How did that resonate in your heart? And she says, it so resonates. I was going to visit my dad today. Oh, beautiful. So definitely do that. That's a confirmation from your ancestor coming through to go visit. That's powerful. And so I have Nia here. Nia says, my name is Nia, and anything you receive for me is appreciated.
Okay, Nia. I want to clear. I'm clearing the previous energy. I feel, Nia, your energy is like, they're showing me a pebble dropping in a pond, and those ripples that come out, still waters run deep, and you are that. You are very deep. And what I'm picking up from that, though, is also what comes into you sometimes. Like, you are an intuitive, and there is this very sensitiveness to your nature, and sometimes those ripples can be ruffles, and that practices, it might be worth it for you to engage in some practices that assist you, like mindfulness, meditation, breathing exercises to assist you, so that, or even like, yeah, okay. They're saying to work on, for you, your bubble, your energetic bubble, that there just is, I almost feel like there's places on your bubble that have really, God, let's pretend like we're superheroes, and it's like there's lightning hitting your bubble, and there's places that are frayed and need healing. And so when we go there to that place, I'm just going to those places in your bubble. And you yourself can do this, by the way, just working that, putting your hands out, feeling your bubble. There's some places where it's super up against you. And with your breath, you can begin to work it, to take it out, to expand that bubble to a comfortable place. You might find a place and go right there. You know, there were words said to me today, or a continuous barrage. And so let's take a look at what that is, what dense energy, and just move that all the way down and drop it to mama, and let mama take it using your breath. And that is really what I'm receiving for you. I feel like you have a lot of pull from your family, a lot of like, a lot of take, and like people taking from you. And it's time to put yourself back in Aini, and remember reciprocity. That if you feel like someone is continuously taking your energy but not giving any, then take a look at that relationship, and begin to make sure that you're receiving as much as you're giving, and honor yourself with blessings and love.
I felt that. And I was also feeling that when you said that, taking it, it felt almost like on the lower chakras. Were you feeling that too?
Yes, the family, the core family. Yes,
yeah, definitely. So Nia, definitely consider doing the work that that Lori has shared with you here to help you. And you know, and if you want to do some deeper work with her, to consider going into iamshamanicmedium.com and booking a one-on-one session with her, if you feel called. And so we have a lot of questions coming through. Now, I knew this is the candy part of these lives. You know, the beginning is like, you know, spinach and, you know, and then at the end is like, oh, the candy, we want all the readings. So we were getting a lot of questions here. People are definitely ready for some readings here. In the meantime, while we let you know, Lori reset her energy, I just kind of wanted to invite you to go into her website. She also has TikTok, she has Instagram, and everything is the same. I am Shamanic Medium, and you can find her, you can connect with her. do share this video if you feel that it helped you, especially if you were here for the part of the learning portion of this, where we were learning about her work and the Q'ero, and where where the Q'ero shamanism comes from and all that good stuff. And if you're here coming a little late, I invite you to just go into the replay later and watch it. I feel it will be beneficial for you. And so I have here someone asking for healing. Her name is Jay Haley.
Okay. So, Jay, Jeanette Leanne, it says, right? Is that right?
I believe her name is, let me see. Jay, what is your full name? Oh, Janetta. Yeah, Janetta Leanne.
Okay. So let's take a look at that energy of yours. I'm immediately drawn to your head, and I'm actually drawn around. It's like you have a crown around your head, and let's talk about that vibrationally. You've been through some traumatic experiences, some things and honestly, it's like you're being rewired. This is a time of tremendous shift in your life, that is impacting you physically, emotionally, psychically. And so I'm going to take my hands and etherically, I'm going to give some energy your way. Here we go. You ready? As we come down to your shoulders, right into your heart. Removing some hucha. Allow yourself to breathe, sister. Cleaning up some frequency areas that are blocked. Through your core and down to your legs, allowing yourself to feel that connection with our mother, our beautiful sacred mother, opening up from above, allowing the light to just flow into you. Feeling the tendrils, they're saying, to expand within you. Comfort and warmth radiating now through you into your stomach. Once again, connecting with our Pachamama. Making sure you drink a lot of water today. Do a cleansing for yourself, maybe a saltwater shower. Something, spray yourself, allowing yourself to release some of this dense energy that surrounds you. And within your heart, allowing, like lighting a candle, allowing that flame to expand. You are beautiful, you are light, you are love.
And Janetta, I just kind of wanted to let you know also, I was picking up some energies, which is the equal of the dense energies that Lori was picking up. We're gonna send these to the light. So just allow yourself to keep your eyes closed as you were receiving from Lori. And I did a soft connection to your higher self. Okay, and I'm clearing some energies, entities that are around you, surrounding, that are attracted to that energy that that Lori cleared for you, that were attracted to that energy, but we are going to send them to the light now. So please allow yourself to close your eyes and take a deep breath and just trust that you're receiving. And as you take a deep breath, I want to invite you to take that breath in through the nose and out through your mouth. And when you take that breath in, I want to invite you to visualize this white light coming through your nose and expanding into your body, supporting the healing that was received by Lori. As we both hold space for you, loving space for you. I am complete. I'm disconnecting now. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so just kind of like what Lori said, just drink lots of water, get yourself a nice bath if you can, and with salt to help you release physically the energies that you've been carrying in your body. Okay, and so as we let Lori connect with the next person, I wanted again to invite y'all to go into her website, iamshamanicmedium.com. If you're here new and you just came in, we are today we were learning about Q'ero Shamanism, and Lori has been trained in this, and she is a shamanic medium. And so her basically her medicine or her style of mediumship is going to include some of that shamanistic experience that she's developed, and it's also going to bring in that mediumship in. So make sure that you go into imshamanicmedium.com and connect with her directly there and support her, or share this video as well if you feel like it could help someone that you love. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Peggy. Peggy writes she would love a reading from her ancestors. She resonated very much with you and can feel your energy coming through loud.
Peggy, you must be the one I just wrote this for. So I got plant medicine, and you know, this is what I wrote: acknowledge your inner medicine woman to rise and believe. And this disconnect has happened with your ancestors, and particularly your feminine ancestors, that I feel like there was some masculine energy, that it made it hard for the women to pass on there are some wonderful teachings within your ancestry that are extremely powerful, that have been lost. And I'm getting this call, and it comes in oftentimes because it's the one way the women can fit it in and no one messes with it. That's what I'm hearing is food, and how it comes in food. The kitchen is the one area where women have been allowed to pass on those traditions without them being tainted. And so I'm really feeling that for you, beautiful one. And I just want to, this is so cool. So I see this kitchen, and I'm talking about this amazing, beautiful kitchen that is, the sun is just spilling in, and now suddenly they've taken me to a field, and this field is just gorgeous. It's a meadow, and these little flowers, these purple and pink and white flowers, and there you are, and there's this fire there, and it's this gorgeous fire, and there's a pot in the fire. And I love this. And Peggy, here we go. And the medicine men and women have come. Your ancestors are gathering. So Peggy, come with me to the fire. Join me at the fire. As your feet connect with the earth, Peggy, feel the richness of the ground, and feel Mama just touch you, allowing your soul to open. The ancestors, your ancestors, are here, and they surround you with love, 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 love. In this space, all the wounding is outside of this space. And all you see is pure soul energy in yourself. You're radiant being, sister. You're radiant being in this pot. This beautiful pot is the stew. The stew, and they're all putting their spices, their particular medicine into this pot for you, sister. And they're saying, but you have your own medicine. Allowing you to acknowledge, look in your hand, sister. You see that light? You have powerful medicine. Plant medicine is calling to you. And they're inviting you, sister, to put your medicine into this pot. Join the circle. Join the circle. See your own power, your own light. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, there's so much love around you, sister. This complete bubble of love. And they show me almost like it is in the shape of a heart coming around. And there you are, sister. There you are. You're where it meets, right there. And it comes around you. Moonai, love, giving beautiful blessing to your heart, to all these ancestors. You are so loved. You are so worthy. Oh, thank you, beautiful ones. Thank you to our sister for being present. We are honored. We are so grateful. Aho.
Aho, aho, aho. Oh my gosh, Peggy, what a powerful message. So I hope you receive this with your open heart and you receive this beautiful healing and message that your ancestors have shared with you. This is powerful, powerful, powerful. And I'm just so grateful that this was received and sent here to her. Okay, so we have someone else here who wants a reading, and she is her name is Chris, and she would like a reading from any ancestor that comes through for her today. Any ancestor that has a message.
All right. Immediately, Chris, I am being drawn to, this is so cool. Okay. The ancestor who has showed up is this woman, and she is an artist. And she is like, she's got paint on her hands, and she has this flowing, this beautiful dress. And it's funny because it's like there's splatters of paint on their dress. She's a little messy, and she's inviting us in, and so Chris, come with me as she's opening these doors, these beautiful doors. It's a studio, and she's saying, come into my studio, and she's calling you daughter. And so this is a grandmother, and she's saying, sister, daughter, all the names that apply to you, all the roles that you've played in this lifetime. So we move through those roles. What we have is your essence, your soul essence. She's calling upon that soul essence to come in to this space. And there are all these paints and these brushes and in these empty palettes. They're palettes, canvases. And there they are. And she's looking at you, and she's saying, it is time for you, daughter, to step away from school. Isn't that funny? To step away from what you have been taught, what you believe, because within you lies your own creativity, your own spark. And she's being so cute. It's like a firecracker, and she's holding it. She's saying, you are a firecracker, by the way. You are a firecracker, and your personality is like is so powerful. And I hear the laughter. I hear this part of your personality that likes to laugh, that your friends are drawn to you, and you're so warm and inviting. And now what she's inviting you is to believe in yourself, and she wants you to pick up these brushes, and she's showing me that it's time for you to trust in your own abilities and create your own masterpiece. And it's a empty canvas, sister, but you have learned everything you need, and she's always with you. She is always with you. And she says to you, use all of your senses in this. Use everything. You see, we're so caught up into the idea that artwork is a piece of pottery, that it is a painting. Our life is a masterpiece. Our life is the greatest piece of art we have. And she's saying, go ahead, paint. Do what you want to do. This is your masterpiece. You are beautiful. And it's time for you to allow yourself to understand what you contribute, who you are. And you are a beautiful gift. And people are going to come to this in the studio that is you, and they are going to feel so enriched by your gifts. So blessings, love, and light upon you.
Oh, Chris, that was so beautiful. And I hope that you received this with an open heart into your heart as you let that integrate. And you can always come back. And for everyone who's receiving a message today, you can always come back here and watch the replay if you want to re-listen to the beautiful messages that Lori is sharing with everyone here.
And you can hear my dog wants to come in too and be a part of the messages, but the problem is then she wants to go back out.
Your doggy's like, I want to be part of this beautiful energy. It's all good. So I have some more people here that have questions. So the next person that is connecting here is Guadalupe Rivera, and she would like a general reading, would be greatly appreciated. So she just wants something general.
Okay. So let me, Guadalupe, I want to take, opening yourself up, Guadalupe. Just take a moment, closing your eyes, taking a breath, allowing yourself as you breathe to feel the energy around you to expand. I want to connect to that energy, the frequency of that energy. And immediately I want to, I'm being drawn to the left side. And this is, I'm going to give it to you just as I'm receiving it. So I'm receiving it right under my ear. And I feel like there are pieces of you. What's the word I want? Like words have come into you. This is what I'm going to say. It's like there have words that you have been spoken to you that really don't resonate. That there have been messages that you have, that people want you to believe that are not true for you, and that and especially this feels like a mother figure. It feels feminine. And so I'm going to ask that now to come closer to me. And it feels like this is an ancestor. This is a figure, a mother that felt like she had to do her life a certain way. And I do feel like religion plays a role in this, that there is a religious component into this belief system. And that what I am getting is for you, you don't fit in that. That is no longer what's the word? It doesn't resonate with you anymore in the same way. And so to begin to understand that you can lovingly honor this ancestor, this beautiful mother, this grandmother. You honor, thank you for the love, thank you. But you don't have to walk that way. You know, your energy is calling you, is like almost driving you to this place. And so what I see is this light. It's like this golden light. And I feel this golden light, just Guadalupe, as it comes in closer and closer. It's like you're walking into it. And there it is, Guadalupe, all around you, this golden light as it just floods you and comes around you. It's like you're in an egg. And oh my gosh, there you are. You're inside. Can you feel yourself? You're like in an embryo. What a beautiful place to be, because let's honor the egg. I have no idea why I'm saying that, but I feel like that has meaning. And honor the egg, right? What is that? That's birth. That is a new beginning, and that there is new beginnings coming into you. And so this is a fertile time for you. And so you know, you got to water the fertility. You got to take care of it. Be gentle with yourself. And because you are about to really step into something beyond anything you have ever known. So allow that. So that means it's sort of like they're telling me, you know, how as a mother, your mother is telling you how to do things with your kids, or always trying to, you know, tell you this is the way it is. And those women who are mothers here with babies know that sometimes you don't want to do it that way. It's just not your way. And this is what I'm seeing. Do it your way. Trust in yourself. And know that the love will still be there, actually more love. And the strength within you is just going to grow. And you are birthing something beautiful. So I'm honoring that. And I honor you and your beautiful spirit, and the divine is coming in and blessing you. Feel it right here, right in your third eye. Beautiful, beautiful blessings upon you. We thank you.
Thank you, Lori. That was so powerful. And as you guys connect with Lori, those of you who have received your readings, you can see how this is all heart based. And so I invite you, for those of you who are going to receive a reading, after I announce a couple of people that were mentioning some things, and I kind of wanted to celebrate Lori for a minute. I want to invite you to really connect your heart space and receive those messages, because they are coming from the heart and they are loving, and they're here to help you heal your heart and beyond, right? So I'm just so grateful that this beautiful energy, and I'm feeling this beautiful loving energy just flowing through the space, and I'm sure you can feel it too, Lori. It's so beautiful and so comforting. And I kind of wanted to just mention that Peggy, you did the reading for her earlier. She says, wow, brought to tears. So thankful to you. She said wow twice.
You're welcome.
And then Chris also said, so powerful, tears falling, and heart fully received this. And this is the medicine right here. Is for you to be able to release whatever needs to be released and receive that love, and let go of anything that doesn't serve your highest good. Beautifully received through the power of words that are coming from a loving heart, which is Lori's heart.
Thank you.
So I kind of wanted to just see here. There's some other people here that wanted some readings here. I see here someone from she's coming in from Facebook. Her name is Amanda, and she's asking, do my ancestors have anything to tell me? Is there anything positive going to happen on the near future? She mentioned earlier too that she is struggling with some issues with her ex who cheated and kicked her out.
Okay. So Amanda, I want to, I got to go back to the very first moment that your name popped up on the screen. Scream. Isn't that word? Instead of screen, I say scream. Spirit takes control of me and comes out in ways. So let's talk about the little girl who was never listened to. and I am beautiful, Amanda. You are such a gentle soul, and sometimes those of us that have gentle souls, this gentleness are trodden upon. That we, we're born with this authenticity, this gentleness, and it's not always understood and appreciated. And so what happens is it seems like we end up in the corner, that we end up being overlooked, that no one's hearing our voices. And in order to be heard, we have to scream. And that is crazy, right? So and now they're bringing me to the third chakra, right to here, to not third chakra, but well, anyway, to the throat. So much energy is coming in, Amanda, and they really, if you could take your hands, Amanda, and take them to your throat. Oh, just feel your own breath as it comes through your throat. Let's honor your voice, sister. Your beautiful voice. Remember the little girl that loved to sing? Feel the vibration of your voice. Feel the vibration as it comes in, the warmth of it. Oh, sending healing light to your throat, coming down to your throat and then your heart. Here we are. Oh, you have a guide. This, I'm trying to picture her. I feel like she's a gypsy, and she is coming into you, and she's got bells and they're on her fingers, sort of things, and she's taking them around you, and she's laughing, and as she laughs, she's opening you up, and she's, can you feel it in your chest? Oh my gosh, your chest is beginning to expand, and I feel this energy just coming through you. And now let's bring him back up here, all the way around. It's time for you to believe in your voice. It is time for you to allow what you really feel, who you really are, to come through. Don't be afraid of your voice. Don't be afraid to assert yourself and be true to you. Not everyone is going to be able to handle that, and that's okay. It is time for them to leave. You see, this is a time of opening. This is a time for the feminine to take up space. It's time for the feminine to be assertive, to say, I can be feminine and assertive. I can be feminine and have power. And that is what's coming in for you, sister. The power, the ancestors are coming through to you and telling you that they support you in speaking your voice. They support you in asserting yourself. You don't have to scream. You just step into your voice and the power will come through. You are worthy of that power. You are worthy of that love. Beautiful blessings, and thank you.
Oh, that was so powerful. Thank you so much. And Amanda, please receive this in your heart space and let us know in the comments, how did this feel in your heart as you were receiving that healing today? And we are almost at the end, so we're going to try to get a couple more people, but as you guys know, it's kind of hard to get everyone, right? But we do try to do our best. As we let Lori take a moment to breathe and to relax, I just kind of wanted to invite y'all to go into her website, iamshamanicmedium.com, if you are feeling connected to her heart. And I know a lot of you are, and you want to work with her. You want to do some work with her. She does work over Zoom, or if you're close to her, and you can reach out if you're in New York, because I know some of you were mentioning New York. You can reach out. I believe that she also can do some in-person work as well. for you. But if you are not, you can still connect with her and email her at iamshamanicmedium.com. And she also has a TikTok that is the same thing, I am Shamanic Medium, and on Instagram as well, I am Shamanic Medium. Everything I am Shamanic Medium. Basically, she is the Shamanic Medium. She is the Shamanic Medium. So I kind of wanted to just kind of segue here into that, and just invite you to support and also like and share this video. And with anyone that share this video with anyone that you feel might benefit from learning about the Q'ero shamanism, and maybe connecting to Lori as well. You never know. Maybe someone that you're feeling an inkling, you're like, you know what, this person might benefit from this. Definitely do consider doing that. And so as you're liking and sharing this video, and as you're going into her website and connecting to her via TikTok or via her website, you're supporting the practitioners that are coming in. It really means a lot to me whenever you do. I'm so happy for those of you who do support the practitioners. I feel so proud of all of you, because I know that y'all are the fam, and you're here really supporting this channel and supporting what we're doing here, which is all about education, all about sharing, all about community, really building this space for us to continue to weave the healing and the support that is so needed, right? In this day and age. So with that said, I kind of wanted to bring in one more person here. Her name is Annis Bosley, and she would like a general reading.
Is it Annis?
Annis,
Or
I think it's Annice.
All right. So immediately, I have to tell you, I received lilacs, and it's so strong, I can smell it, and I am inviting you into this garden, and it is so beautiful. It's like I feel like we're going under a trellis, and there's this trellis and wisteria. Now I got wisteria. Oh, that strong smell of wisteria, and let us walk through this space. And let's talk about the fairies, and let's have ourselves a playful moment, Annis. Let's open up into this garden. I see in this garden, immediately, suddenly I see gloves on your hands and pruning shears. And there is this woman in the garden. I love it. She's got it feels, I say feels, it looks like pearls. It looks like pearls around her neck, or it could be maybe not real pearls. But it looks like a very fine pearl type of necklace. And I say fine because there's a refinedness about her that I see. And she's wearing a dress, and why I would get this, I don't know, me and dresses, but A-line, she's wearing an A-line dress, right? And it's very classy. She's a classy woman. And she wants us to come into her garden, and she's handing you, so you've got these pruning shears, and she's asking you to come over. And there are some roses here, and as well as pansies. And she's saying to you, she wants you to help her because her garden is too cluttered, and she needs to clip some things from her garden. And she says that this is the best part about having a garden, is that when it becomes cluttered and we have to remove things, we make a bouquet. And so whatever has to be removed is still used and still treasured in a new way. And so she's talking now about you, and that there are some things in your life that need to be clipped, that you need to prune, and maybe some redecorating, she says, as well. And something about your walls. And as I, she's now taken me into a house, and like I said, she's very classy and like decorating, and that you could actually stand to do some redecorating, that there is, again, the word clutter is coming in. It's time to remove some things and to beautify your surroundings. And when I get that, I get the chills all the way through me. So I want you to really feel this energy, and that she's acknowledging your beauty. And I feel like you have been she's not always an easy one. And I think she's very critical, and that she had her way of seeing beauty, and that was the way it was. And now she understands that, that beauty, now she's crossed the rainbow bridge, and she understands that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, that we have to find beauty from within us, and that beauty radiates out. And so what she's asking you to do is sort of clip away those old ways of being told what beauty is, and that you have to see beauty in your own way, and the beauty within yourself. And that's cool, because what you're going to be doing is making your own garden and putting in the plants and the flowers, and creating a space that is you. And so when people come into your space, they're going to feel you, and that the resonance is going to resonate. And so allow yourself to just feel that beautifulness, your beauty, the flowers that you feel connected to, and beginning to understand that this is going to be a very amazing, fertile garden, and is going to continue to grow. So we honor the beautiful sacred mother. I feel like the connection you have with Pachamama, honoring Mama, and just all the spirit beings, the fairy realm is very open to you. So make sure you feed the fairies and honor the fairies, because they are everywhere around you. So blessings and light, giving you love.
So powerful. So Anna says she has a garden and she loves flowers. So this resonated a lot with her. And listen, Peggy is even saying, listen, she says, thank you, Jikara, for sharing your space with Lori. This was my first shamanic medium reading. It so resonated with my healing heart in a way that other readings haven't. Wow, again. So I just, it is, we can't make this stuff up, right? Like it's just when someone is connecting, they're connecting, and that's what Lori does. And again, it's such a loving, as you guys have seen, it's such a loving expression of mediumship. And not saying that mediumship, other expressions are not loving, but it's a very special kind. And so I'm just so grateful, Lori, again, that you came today, and I'm so grateful for your time. And and again, I cannot express enough how amazing Lori is. If you want to work with her on a one-on-one basis, do go into her website. And I know I keep saying that, but if you really want to experience her full energy, not that we're not experiencing it now, but to receive it all for yourself, right? To hog it all in for yourself, then you definitely want to make sure that you connect with her there, or just follow her on TikTok until you feel that you're ready to connect. And again, it's iamshamanicmedium.com, or on TikTok, I am Shamanic Medium, the same thing.
And can I just say, I just remembered, because there's someone out there that lives near Lilydale, New York, Marilyn Maldonado, who's another practitioner, and I are going to be in Lilydale on August 9th, and we're going to be doing a training there on using shamanic practices in your energetic practice. So in Lilydale, man, that's the best of the best.
You were talking about that, and I thought about it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And I love that, we do, bringing in the shamanic practices into our practices, regardless of what other practices we have. I think, not only I feel, really not only grounds the energy, but it softens the energy for whatever reason. It's something about, because it's compatible with the earth, right? The compatibility with the earth that it brings in, which is so beautiful. And I kind of wanted to mention, for all of you who don't know, if you want to connect a little bit more with Lori, she's going to be at evolveme.com on March the 20th. I actually have the the link to this event, and I'm going to post it on the comments right now so you guys can go in and sign up. It's free. It's a free event. It's a retreat. And it's going to be on the 20th. And it looks like it says 7 p.m. Is when it starts. So, and I believe that's Eastern time. So what I'm seeing here on the website. So go on in, click on that link that I just posted on the comments, and check it out. It's going to be a free event, and it's going to be a panel where there's going to be different mediums, light workers, and high vibrational healers. And Lori is going to be one of them. So I really hope that all of you go and take advantage of this space and go into Evolve Me and check it out. So when you sign up for Evolve Me, there's, y'all know that I'm already I'm one of the practitioners. Lori's one of the practitioners. You've seen John and Angelia and Maurice and everyone that I've brought here, or almost everyone that I brought here are part of the group of practitioners, of founding practitioners. So I want to invite you to go in and check it out and see who you like. And you can also find Lori there and favorite her and favorite me and favorite everyone else that you connect with. So please do go in there and check it out. I want to invite you to do so. But if you want to do more direct work with her and you're kind of ready now, just go into I am shamanicmedium.com and go ahead and connect with her there. And so without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and some people are saying, yes, totally, they'll be there. Some people are going to be there. So that's great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close the container. And so this is the end of this beautiful live that we shared with Lori. And Lori, before we go, is there anything else that you want to share with us as we say goodbye to the audience?
I just want to say how beautiful you all are, and I love your energy. This can't work without you, and that's what I want to put back to you. You are part of this creation, and so when you leave here today, do something for yourself. Make sure you honor yourself. A piece of chocolate you've been trying not to eat it. Just allow yourself. Treasure you, because I feel your energy and you are all amazing. And one of you, I'm supposed to tell Ruta water. Please brew water for one of you. You'll know who you are and you're going to go, oh, I forgot about that. So I have to get that out there. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here, and I will see you next week. And I can't wait. If you want to connect with me, again, for readings, just know that I am on Instagram every Monday. So we will go on Instagram. You can go to the Blooming Lotus Healing on Instagram and get readings there. I typically just do the readings there on Monday. So if you want to connect with me a little bit more, just go there Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Love you all.